we're waking up to, well, first of all, Kentucky fans went to bed last night. A lot of Kentucky fans was pretty happy, and a lot of fans was like, well, I'm not ready to believe it yet. I'm not ready to conceive. I'm not ready to listen to the hype of John leaving. Maybe John Calipari is just kind of shopping around, maybe just looking. No harm, no foul. It looks like it's happening. Like it looks like Calipari is going to be out of Kentucky. All day long, I've been asking myself, how do I really feel about what's happening at Kentucky? Put aside of who we may or may not get, because we're not even at that stage yet. Because it's so much that has to go. Maybe Mitch already has an answer for that. Maybe he's already been in contact with somebody on the other side. If Cal can go talk to people, Mitch Barnhart, he can go talk to someone as well. So my question is at this particular time is is this a tragedy? Some people may, there's going to be some fans that's going to be like, no, I'm not ready to lose Calipari yet. It's not that time. Calipari's already in the system. Let's give him one more year. Let's see what can happen. And some people are just waking up this morning and saying, thank you. This is the best way to wake up this morning, is knowing that I do not have John Calipari as my coach anymore. And he doesn't even he just doesn't leave Kentucky. Like he's going to Arkansas, one team that I particularly don't enjoy playing, but I understand that it's a good rivalry that we have with those guys, and it's always a fun ball game. So now he's going to go coaching at the school that, I mean, we may play him twice a year on the road and home. We may just play him once. But what's that going to be like when John comes to Kentucky in the red? It just look, John Calipari in a red shirt, in a red Arkansas, just doesn't feel right. Um, a lot of people, are just sad. I'm sad because I have mixed feelings. I tried to go live last night, this morning when I was at work, and the thing that I said is, it never fails me over here. It never fails me that when I wake up, it's always, I feel like it's always drama. It's always something going on. I can't just go to bed and wake up and then just hear, hey, everything is good, everything's going well. And I always got to wake up to something bad. And for me, a guy tried to tell me, Chris, a Vandy fan, tried to tell us that Calipari is leaving, and me not wanting to believe it. Oh no, this Cal's not going anywhere. This is fake news. It always happens. Everyone wants to talk to Cal. Everyone wants to do that. But I have complete mixed feelings. Am I disappointed that he's gone? Am I disappointed that he's not here no more? Am I excited that he's not here no more? I'm kind of like in the middle, because we thought from the Mitch Barnhart conversation is that if nothing else, we got Calipari for one more year. We gonna see what's gonna happen. The best recruiter, can he put his best skills on showcase and go get some top transfer players? Is he going to take that and go somewhere else? See, for me, let me just be a villain for a second. And if you watch me, I'm always positive about Kentucky, no matter what's going on. But are we really going to get somebody here that's better than Cal? Jay Wright ain't coming out of retirement. He ain't coming. Do we really want Billy Donovan? Is that who we really want? Do we want Drew? It's everybody's throwing out these names, and all we're doing as Kentucky fans is doing nothing but hoping. We're hoping that the next coach come in can get us right. We're hoping that the next coach to come in can recruit on a level that Calipari can do. We're hoping that the next coach to come in can get some good transfer guys to come in and stay. We're hoping that in year one we can make it past first weekend. We're just doing a whole lot of hoping that this next guy that's going to come in is going to be the answer. I'm already at the mindset of this. I'm okay if we have to rebuild. You said you want to rebuild. You said you want guys that want to come in and stay here for 2 or 3 years, 4 years, and grow and develop. We can't expect these guys that are coming in like that in college basketball, they're not coming in to stay for a couple of years. That means we got to go get that low-tier talent and then hope they build up. I'm not angry because people are happy that Calipari is gone. I salute them guys. We're all entitled to our opinions. We're all, you know what I'm saying? If you're happy about Cal, absolutely be happy that Cal is gone. And if you have mixed feelings, I'm one of the ones that has mixed feelings. I'm not angry. I'm not angry. I'm just saying, before we just think that the grass is always greener on the other side, and before we think that a guy is just going to come in here tomorrow and turn the program around, we have to slow down and we have to be realistic because that's no guarantee. People say, well, we got to start winning next year. Okay, what if we don't? We may, but what if we don't come out and start winning next year? What if we don't even make the tournament next year with the coach that comes in? There's no guarantees. All these other teams, I mean, we got to go out. First of all, most of the guys that signed with Kentucky, I look for those guys to leave. Those guys that we've been looking forward to coming in next year to play, they're probably not going to be here next year. So we got to go out and we got to be that much more. Arkansas thought the route was to go get all older guys in the portal and come in and let's see what happened. Well, they don't have their coach anymore. Their coach is out west now. Now they're going to bring in Calipari, and now Kentucky fans, a lot of them, are just thrilled to death. I respect everybody's opinion. I respect everyone's thoughts. If that's what you're happy about, I salute that. I salute whatever you want. But the grass is not always greener on the other side. It's just not. And that's the thing that scares me is that how patient is the fan base going to be in the first year of a new coach? If we come in and lose 4 straight home games this year, if we lose 4 straight home games this year, is the fan base going to say, you know what? That's okay. We're rebuilding. We'll take the 4 home losses. No problem whatsoever. On the flip side, it is good sometimes that people just part ways. When the relationship's just not working, sometimes you just got to go your separate ways and you got to see what happens. One thing is for sure, this is going to be exciting. I'm looking forward to the post-Cal era. I'm looking forward to who the new coach is, has my support because I'm not necessarily just here to support the coach. I'm supporting the Kentucky Wildcats. And if the AD, we won't have a lifetime contract, you can believe that. If we don't agree on anything else as Kentucky fans, we will agree on one thing. We will not see a lifetime contract ever again at the University of Kentucky. And I think people can agree that they're in agreement that should never happen again. And you know, Marcus just brought up a good point. Arkansas is opening up the NIL purse, the bag, whatever you call it. These guys are opening up everything for Calipari to go do what he needs. $6 million? If that's the number that I saw, $6 million, and they say go do what you got to do, go recruit, go bring guys in. Guys are no longer playing basketball for the school anymore. You're only going to find a small amount of kids who actually really go to a college that they really, truly, sincerely want to play for. We all know now is how much playing time am I going to get and how much are you paying me? Simple as that. Simple. Too bad we couldn't get the NIL thing right like it should have been. Like it should have been at Kentucky. We should have been the gold standard of NIL, but we couldn't even get that right. Calipari, I want to just say thank you for what you gave Kentucky. Thank you for the national championship that you brought to Kentucky while you was here. Thanks for all that you did. We understand on the backhand side of everything just kind of went downhill. And because of that, separations just happen. People go their separate ways. But I hope our fan base is ready to be patient. We hope as a fan base that whoever who comes in can recruit just a third of how Coach Cal recruited. We just hope these things. Only thing we living right now is just off hope. But things work out, man. Hey, that's why this right here could be a blessing. A tragedy is the tragedy of this is that we're hoping that whoever who comes in is going to be just as good, if not better, in recruiting as Cal. Cal can go out, and we're not even talking about a coach that can come in and be okay with running a program such as Kentucky. Like, we're not winning. People are still making fun of us because we're losing to Oakland, because we're losing to St. Peter's. People are still making fun of us, but Kentucky is still one of the best programs still in college basketball. Sometimes it just has to go in a different direction. That's why this right here may actually truly be a blessing in disguise, is that everyone on both sides just gets a brand new start. Cal's in his 70s, I think. We need somebody that's going to come in, that's going to be on fire for basketball, that's going to be ready to hit the recruiting trail, and going to be able to relate to these younger guys. That's just what college basketball is. No matter if you like it, if you hate it, if you're on the line of it, that's just a new era, a new landscape of college basketball right now, and we just have to accept it because Kentucky is not any different at all. I just don't see any high-profile coach wanting to put up with wishy-washy fans. Brenda, that's a good point. A new coach. Hold on, right here. Where's this at? Don says. Don says a new coach will bring his recruits from the school he was at. Well, Don, I need to ask you a question, and you've been with me for a long time, and I thank you for that. But is he going to get the coach from Duke? He ain't bringing his recruits. Is he going to get the guys from Kansas? They ain't. Bill Self ain't coming. Like, what recruits is he going to bring with him that is going to be good enough for the standards of Kentucky basketball? Are they going to bring it? They going to bring in their guys. Cool. No problem. Are these guys good enough to play? And are they good enough to carry the name of Kentucky basketball game in and game out? That's the whole point that I think I'm getting at is we don't know what we're getting. We're hoping. People might have had decent track records before coming to Kentucky, but are they going to bring that same level of recruitment? Now, all they got to do is, and this is coming from a lot of fans, they can bring in average players. They can bring in 4-star, upper 3-class star players, and because fans will say, well, Cal doesn't develop. Cal doesn't know how to go out and do X and O's. So maybe that's the blessing once again. See, we got to continue to find maybe the pros in all of this. And maybe we get a guy that comes in here who doesn't get the high-profile recruits that John Calipari was able to bring in, but maybe he can coach them better. Maybe down the stretch when the game's on the line, maybe that coach that comes in can say, time out, this is what we get ready to do, and we get ready to win the ball game. That's an aspect that is as a Kentucky fan, that we welcome, that we want to bring in, that we need. We need that in here at Kentucky. So for me, it's going to be more than one day for me to allow just to sink in that Calipari won't be on the sideline. Go, push it, go. We won't have that no more. We won't be able to see that on TV. I just hope that the next guy that comes in understands what he's getting into, the magnitude of what it means to coach here at Kentucky, and bring his A game, because the crowd, the fans, if you ain't winning, you're going to hear from us. So as Brenda said earlier, what coach wants to come in and what coach wants to deal with that? It's just a different level of expectations here at Kentucky's. Is that just being realistic? I mean, if we're winning 20, 23, 24 plus games every year with Coach Calipari, some teams would love that. But a lot of people would say that's just not Kentucky basketball. We got to get past the first weekend. We got to make it past past the second weekend. We got to get back to winning. A lot of teams will never win 20, 25 ball games a year. So I mean, what do we really want as fans? You guys tell me, what is it that you really want as a fan from the next coach? Are you looking for him to come in and win from day one? Are you okay with him building? Are you okay with it taking 2, maybe 3 years of guys continue to come back to grow so we can get there? Are you okay with not making it to the second weekend in the first 2 years? Now, I get it. People gonna say, well, we ain't been making it, so what's new? Yeah, but we ain't been happy that Calipari ain't been making it to the out of the first weekend. It's a lot to think about here. It's a lot to process. And I promise you today, all you're going to hear on everything is Coach Cal to Arkansas. What's going to happen? Who's the next coach? Where we go from here? Is this a good move? Is this a bad move? Only thing we can do is just sit back and wait. I heard a guy say last night that they got to, once Cal is officially gone, then we have to get a coach in here in the next couple of days. Like, we need to get him in here so he can see what he can keep and see who leaves and see who he's bringing with him. I mean, this thing has got to roll pretty fast because everybody's eyes is on the University of Kentucky. Like, shout out to South Carolina women's team last night, winning their third national championship. Nobody's talking about that. And that was a good game. I don't know if any of you watched that ball game, but that was a good game. But we're not talking about that. They don't get the spotlight today because everything's on Kentucky. And I hope the next coach comes in here, realize that you just had a South Carolina team go 30, I think it was 38-0, and nobody's talking about it. That's how big Kentucky basketball is, and I hope the next guy that comes in here truly understands that. The fan base will let you know. Somebody said bring in Jerry Stackhouse. I don't think we're bringing in Jerry. I don't think we're going that route for sure. Let's see what some of these comments are said. Kentucky basketball is college basketball, and Kentucky basketball is bigger than college basketball. I hope they understand that. Ever who Facebook user is that wrote that, I appreciate it. Hey, I hope they understand that, man. Like, you got to understand, Calipari, while he didn't get us to where we wanted to be at the last couple of years, Calipari was a big guy, big enough for this stage at Kentucky. Who's the next guy that's going to come in and realize that Kentucky basketball, whether you're losing or whether you're winning, you're always going to be in the spotlight? What coach really, really wants that? Do y'all really want Ricky P? Billy Donovan? I'm not a person that discriminates against age. That is not what I do. But don't you think we need maybe somebody in here who's more vibrant? I mean, recruiting's got to be on point. You always got to be on the road. You always got to be recruiting. Is Billy Donovan really that person? Now, is Billy Donovan going to get a team in here that's going to recruit at a high level so he can stay home and take care? But eventually, as the head coach of Kentucky, you got to go into these kids' houses and talk to them. You got to go sell them on NIL. Will we improve on NIL? You know, we heard rumors about things just didn't get to Cal and all this stuff didn't happen for NIL and everything just didn't go the way that it should have go. Maybe that turns around. Go get Brad Stevens, but don't go hard Baylor's coach or Rick or Bruce. See, it's so many. How do you make the fan base happy? Sean just sat here and says, I would like to go get Brad Stevens, but don't go get Baylor's coach, Rick or Bruce. So what if we bring in Baylor coach? How do you make Sean happy? You see what I'm saying? How do you make Sean happy? Oh, I don't want those guys. Don't bring those coaches in here. We've already got turmoil before the coach even stepped to the door. Because the fan base completely is going to be split on what happens and what coach comes in here. Who wants Bruce Pearl? You bring Bruce Pearl in here, which I'm just throwing it out. I don't foresee us getting Bruce Pearl, but I'm just throwing his name out there. We bring in Bruce Pearl. Are you okay with that? You see what I'm saying? Everybody has that choice. At the end of the day, how do you make $30 million is no longer an issue. I can't argue with that. Cal did, and that was a blessing for Kentucky. Is that if Cal leaves, then guess what? We don't have that lifetime contract. We don't have to pay him $30 million. Now you can go use that somewhere else. You can go use it somewhere else. But it's got to be used in the correct way, or it's just a waste of money. With Cal, no matter what decides to do, can't blame him with these so-called fans. All I can say is be careful what you wish for and deal with is better than you have with Cal. And if when he leaves, and I hope all the recruits follow him and leave this so-called fan base. See, I mean, it's out there. It's out there, man. It really is out there. We really think that we really got this. I mean, look, I'm telling you, you could take a crowd of people who's cheering on, but for some reason, you take the loudest fans who got the loudest things to say, and that seems to be the biggest echo. That seems to be the biggest echo. And those guys, those people out there who are adamant about Calipari not being the coach anymore at Kentucky, I hope that this is a blessing for you. And I hope it works out for us in our favor. I hope this doesn't backfire in our face. It says we should at least give Cal one more year. We should at least just see what he could do. At least, just one more year. What do we have to lose? This is interesting, man. I'm excited. John Calipari is going to come into Lexington with Arkansas and beat us. We will regret this in the long run. We forget what happens when we force Tubby Smith out. Billy G, the drunk happened. It's not always greener on the other side. I can't see anyone that will want to coach here. I don't get it. This is not a Cal Corp meeting. I don't freaking care if Calipari leaves. If Cal wants to go, man. Come on, Christopher. This ain't no Corp, man. Come on, man. This is not this kind of show. I don't care if Calipari leaves. Next man up. Calipari's not Kentucky. I'm just saying, people just want to jump, and they just think it's always greener on the other side. It may work out. Who comes in may come in, and we might win a national championship the first year. You never know. But you don't know if it's going to be a productive year or not. We're just hoping. We're just hoping just because we get a certain coach to come in here that things are just going to work out and things are just going to be okay. That's not the case. I'm not sitting here advocating for John Calipari. That's not what I'm doing. I'm just saying people want to say that they know what's best for Kentucky basketball. They know if we get rid of Calipari today, things are just going to be better. Things ain't necessarily just going to be better at all times. We're going to go to the mountain. We're going to come back down to the valley. We're going to level out. We're going to go back to the valley. The question is, will the fan base be there to support everyone who comes in? I mean, after all, they wanted Cal out. You got your wish. You got Calipari out the door. So are we willing as a fan base to be patient? That's all we got to do. All I'm saying is Cal hasn't won anything in 8 years. How many players? I get that. I'm not sitting here advocating and says, hey, you better bring John Calipari. You better bring Coach Cal back, or things in Kentucky is going to fall apart. I'm not even saying that. I'm just saying, everybody, how do you make the fan base happy? How do you really make the fan base happy? You can't. Somebody might not want Donovan here. Guess what? You go get Donovan. Man, what the freak, dog? We brought in Donovan now. Oh, man, we should have never got him, dude. Come on, man. What's up, dude? Come on. I don't want him coaching. We could have did better than that. We're going to get the Baylor coach. Well, what are we going to bring the Baylor coach in for? Come on, man. What are we going to do this for? Like it makes no sense whatsoever. None. And to me, that's the hard part right there is you just don't know what you're getting. At least we know what we was getting, and at least we was going to give it at least one more trial with Coach Calipari, and let's see what happens. We're not going to get that opportunity now. So now we really, you will never make them happy. You can't. But everyone figures, not everyone, because that's so big and so broad. a lot of people just feel like that it was just best for Calipari to part ways. And if that's the case, so be it. Who's all I want to know is this. Mitch needs to go with Cal. All I need to know is this. Who's my next coach? See, I'm already in. I'm already in. I'm not waiting to be like, well, let me see who comes in first, and then I'll let you know if I'm going to be behind them. No, because I'm not. My hope is not in the coach. My hope is is the Kentucky Wildcats. That's my hope. I'm not going on a religious tip, nothing like that. Please don't. Your hope should never be in basketball. Get what I'm saying? Like I don't put all my stuff in an eggshell or whatever just because of a coach. And as smart fans, they do the same thing. It just happens. Like it just really I mean, that's just really just how it is. So who do you guys want? Like who pick one coach that you want that would make you happy. Who's it's a lot of it's just a lot of names being thrown around out there. How do you narrow it down to 4 or 5 candidates for Kentucky? If this right here was another school, well, we could probably look at about 6, 7 different candidates. We can and then we'll narrow it down. We're talking about a short lease. Is Jay Wright going to come out of retirement? See, look at that. Cal is now in the past. Let's move on. We have to move on. Who's your choice? Billy Donovan, Jay Wright, like those guys. If Bobby, if we get Jay Wright, is that okay with you? Yeah. So we just gotta say, we just gotta be able to be okay. This is our coach. Hurley is number one. Is he leaving UConn? And I see a lot of people throwing out Hurley. Is no Jay Wright. See, Jay Wright. We get Hurley in. Jeff, would you be okay if we get Hurley in as first? Sean, would you be okay if we get Hurley in first? At the end of the day, we just gotta cheer our coach on, regardless of who that is. Because at the end of the day, some fans are not no Hurley. You don't want Hurley, huh? See, that's what I'm saying. How do you make a fan base like Kentucky? How do you make a fan base like Kentucky happy? We'll be okay if we get top 5 coach. Let's see what we say then. You say you'll be okay. Jeff said, yeah, I'm good. Nate Oates. How do you guys feel about Nate Oates? You think Alabama is not going to throw the book at him now? Throw the big purse at him and says, name your price. We don't want to lose you. Name your price, Nate Oates. This is a big problem. It's not a Gillespie again. I hope so. I hope we definitely don't get that person in. That is exactly what we don't need, and that's for sure. Is to be able to get somebody like that in, but you will never make the fan base happy. You just won't. So therefore, it's bigger than just who we get in here as a fan base. My question is, will the fan base rally? Will the fan base rally behind ever who's is next coach here at Kentucky? Because to me, that's the biggest thing. Is will the fan base, regardless of who it is, will Pitino, which Pitino? You go get Rick. I take Nate Oates. Don't think Drew should be the first call though. He should probably be 4th or 5th. This is as like confusing as it is, and is we don't know what's going to happen. This is pretty exciting, man. It's like we get to go into a store and we get to pick a coach. Who's Jeff and Stacey Shepard? They live UK. Why not? We have to pick someone who can not only handle players and coaching, but can handle the fan base. I'm gonna star that message right there. Nate Oates is my first choice. Done. You done. You don't think Alabama's gonna open up the checkbook for it? It says, "Tell me what you need. Tell me exactly. Tell me exactly what your price is, and we'll pay you." Heck, man, they might even consider a lifetime contract for him too as well. Just gotta wait and see. But this is exciting. It really is, for sure. So I'm not gonna keep you guys long. There's gonna be all kind of shows on today. I know one show is gonna be like 3 hours long today. I know you guys we just everything, we just taking it all in, and we're taking it all in for together as a fan base. Alabama is not Kentucky. I get that. I get Alabama's not Kentucky. But will Alabama do just enough? Would they be able to persuade him, if that's the case, to stay at Alabama and coach? A lot of people want Don. A lot of people want Nate Oates. A lot of names. A lot of people are actually calling his name out there to say, what about Nate Oates? Hey, the guy, he can recruit. He can call X and O's, and down the stretch of a ball games, he can win ball games. Would be pins. All I can say is next season would be all pins and needles. Next year is just going to be. We're ready. We're ready. No coach worth his salt is dealing with a team where the fans run the show. That's just the beast. That's just the beast of the fan base. That's like all that is. That's just the nature of the game. Is that the Big Blue Nation is that big. And no matter what, I just want to, exactly, I will too, Don. I just want to see, will the fan base, regardless of who the coach is, when they come in, are they willing, the fan base, the Big Blue Nation, regardless, can they put their this coaching decision to the side and just support the coach that comes in? Because a lot of people probably will. They say, well, it ain't Calipari, so I will support whoever comes in. Once again, you said it, and it's not always greener. The grass is not always greener on the other side. So we got to be careful sometimes what we ask for. We will be as fine as long as all these kids don't transfer or commit. Well, that's going to be a hard thing, because these guys are committed to Calipari. These guys are not committed to. These guys are committed to Cal. They're not committed to the University of Kentucky. Cal leaves. You know what? Let me get that decommitment letter. I would like to open back up my commitment, and then 24 hours later, I would be signing with the Arkansas Razorbacks. The same kid who we was looking forward to playing next year. Not happening no more. We have to be. Are you guys okay with losing all those recruits? I mean, after all, we're asking, as a fan base, we're asking for older players. We're asking for guys to come in who's already got experience. If we lose all those, if we lose all those 5-star freshmen and they fall to Cal, are you okay with just not having any of them? Yep. Richard said, yep. Absolutely. Got to be okay with it. So, hey, Calipari, we wish you the best out there. It's definitely time to turn that corner. It's definitely time to turn that corner and start looking and start ushering in the new era of Kentucky basketball. We can't fully go there yet because we're not sure who we're going to be supporting. UK equals Porter life. Right? I like to see them rolling in soon decommitments. It's just going to happen, man. These recruits are going to follow. Now, are we going to lose every single one of them? Probably. Because Arkansas had a mass exodus of players. So Calipari gets to do what he wants to do. They don't want 5-star players. So we're just going to go down to Arkansas, and we're going to do what I've been doing my whole career, and we're going to see what happens. The new coach has to be either be a stud to keep those players. It's going to be hard, and that's why it's so important. That's why it's so important to get a coach in here immediately. But do you get it right? Do you rush the process just to get a coach in here just to see who we can keep? Do we rush the process just to get a coach in here, or do we take our time? And what is that time? Is it 4 or 5 days? Is it a week? I mean, somebody's got to get in place here. Somebody's got to get back to work. Somebody's got to get these recruits to stay or go out and start hitting the portal as hard as they can. We can't wait too long. But what is too long? Billy D or Scott Drew? See, Kelly wants Billy D or Scott Drew. That's what I'm saying. Like, they didn't go for Jay Wright. They didn't go for Nate Oates. You're not going to be able to make everybody happy. And I think that's the beauty of this being such a big fan base, is that can we find joy? Can we find the ability to cheer on whoever comes in here next in the new era, post Cal, and can we get things done from day one? And that's the biggest thing. And can these guys actually can these guys actually recruit in a way that Kentucky basketball can continue or to start to trend back up and being that team that we've all got comfortable with watching? Hanfred saying they're going to boo the heck out of Cal when he comes back. So that's classless. Let the man go out with class. So we just gotta take a while. We gotta be patient. Is Big Blue Nation a patient fan base? That's a good question right there. Is Big Blue Nation a patient fan base that's willing to hold out and wait until things get better? Even if it takes a couple of years, just find a coach that wins. But are they going to come into Kentucky and win? That's the thing, because it's just so much. You don't get to just come to Kentucky and just go to practice and coach games. It's much bigger than that. You become the face of the state. You become the face of this all of the SEC. You just do. You inherit that the new coach is going to inherit. He's going to get this everything that the SEC has all in one day. As soon as he says, I'm the new coach of Kentucky, everything is just gonna fall. Boom, weights, boom, boom. Everything is a boom, boom. I want Kentucky back, being proud to be at Kentucky. That's exactly what I want. I want kids that's gonna come in here that's gonna be proud to be at Kentucky. Unfortunately, these recruits ain't coming in. These recruits ain't coming in because, I want to play for Kentucky. Oh, Kentucky's such a great program. Oh, this is what I want to play in. No, pay me. And how much time do I get on the floor? How much TV time do we get? Guess what? You better believe one thing. Arkansas will get a lot of TV time next year. They will get a lot of TV time next year. It just is. Kentucky will too. We can still get our TV time. But you got to admit, a few things are going to be a little different next year, regardless of who's on the sideline for Kentucky. Whoever we get needs to stay away from politics. That was Cal's downfall. We got like so many different thoughts, so many different opinions. Is it going to take 1, 2, 3 years to rebuild? Or do we get lucky? Do we get lucky and say in our first year, we're going to win a national championship? Because it happens. It happens. A coach can come in and win a national championship in the first year. It won't be the strangest thing to happen. We welcome that. I hate it. I can't think of many people that can handle this job. It's a lot that comes with this, man. It's a whole lot that comes with this job of being at Kentucky, regardless of what you felt about Calipari. Calipari was able to hold this. He was a great diplomat for Kentucky basketball. Maybe not on the court the last few years. I get that. Let's just put that out there. But as far as an ambassador for Kentucky, Calipari was just that guy, man. He was. He just was. Earlier, Nate Oates are the two that have got top players and have won big games. But it's going to be tough for any coach to come here with all this pressure. It's just going to be a lot of pressure, man. It really just is. And we just got to sit back and enjoy the ride, and we got to see what happens. And we got to be okay as a fan base to welcome the new coach in. Go get South Carolina's coach. Go get her. She can come here. Hey, she'll get us in ship top condition immediately. Go get her. She can win. Tell me when a chapter his first year, and after his second year, He was fired. That's it, man. That's what I said. It's not the strangest thing. Tubby came in here and won it in his first year. But then if he wins, if the coach comes in and wins a championship in the first year, and then we start going downhill, then guess what? Get rid of the coach. That's just that. That's just how it works sometimes. It is. But I'm a big Kentucky Wildcat fan. I love my Wildcats. I'm wanting us to start going back to the mountaintop. I'm tired of losing in the first weekend. I'm tired of losing to the Oaklands. I'm tired of losing to the St. Pete's. I'm tired of all that mess. I'm tired of letting Kansas State beat us twice and keep us from going to games. I'm tired of all of this. Let's go win some ball games. And let's get the coach in that's going to do that, that's going to bring his heart in here, and it's going to be about Kentucky. It's going to be about Kentucky and not always about going to the NBA right off the bat. It has to be a balance. It has to be a balance. I get it. Kids want to go pro. I ain't knocking that, but it's got to be a balance for the next coach. I'm going to get you to the league, but for right now, this is what I need you to do while you're here at school. This is the system that I need you to buy into. And if a coach, whoever the next coach is, if they can come in and if they can get that done, we can find balance. We can be okay with the new coach getting guys to the league. But we also know that the coach's first priority is we going to win here at Kentucky, and we going to win here at Kentucky as often as possible. And if you can balance that out, now you can bring in the star. Then you can bring in a few 5-star players to complement with the older guys that's maybe been around in the system and just playing. Rondo would be the dumbest hire, in my opinion. Rondo, woo! So Matt Jones won't Oates. Matt Jones got a big voice. I don't have a voice like him. He's a criminal. Who Rondo? Because of what he did. So I stay out of that stuff. That stuff's way over my head. I try not to get into politics. If you committed a crime, I leave it alone. But all I can say is we need a coach who would make defensive priority. Ding, ding, ding. And I didn't even mention it one time. Do we have a defensive-minded coach? Is Nate Oates, is he a defensive-minded coach? Because we know that Alabama lives and dies by the three. Jay Wright, defensive guy. Billy Donovan, the defensive guy. Baylor coach Drew, defensive guy. Smart, Shaka. Is he a defensive-minded coach? We need defense. We do. Next, my last question is this. Does the new coach come in and get rid of all the coaches? Which assistant coach would you keep if you was an assistant if you was the new head coach coming in? Who would you immediately get rid of, and who would you absolutely try your best to keep? Cal built that monster at Kentucky. He can go win Arkansas without all the NBA stuff. It's going to be about winning. Yeah, it just is. It's going to be about Welch. Welch is are you smart? Couldn't see exactly. So people calling for Smart. Texas was too big for him. He couldn't get it done. So, Jill, are you saying you getting rid of Tyler Ulis? You keep? Are you saying? See what I'm saying? It's like get rid of all the coaches, get rid of all the assistants, and bring in your own coaches. That's a possibility. It is. Coaches will follow Cal. If Cal will take them, that's the key. Is Cal going to go down and get a completely new start? Will Cal leave his coaches behind? Brad Stevens possibly. All coaches will fall tires. It's just what assistant coaches would be on the sideline next year. Does Kenny Payne go to Arkansas with Cal? He already got a lot of red clothing, so it shouldn't be a problem. He could just switch right over to Arkansas. Why not? For real. But we're going to wait and see. NATO's going nowhere. Drew going nowhere. Donovan won't pick up the phone. Stevens will just laugh at his phone. Smart wants no part of a team with a toxic fan base. I'm not saying this stuff. These are fans that are saying this. This is not me. I'm not saying it. This is just what's going out right now. You gotta see what happens, man. So hey, let's go, Cats. Let's go, Kentucky. Let's rebuild. Let's jump into the new era with all feet, all hands, all mind, and mentally ready to go, ready to support our new coach, whoever that may be. Because no matter what, the fan base will be divided on ever who Mitch Barnhart. So right now, Mitch Barnhart can do no he can do no right now. He can do no right. Before he even brings in his new guy, Mitch Barnhart is already a person that is no good. Because no matter what, people are gonna be, oh, Mitch, why you bring that guy in for? Why? Why would you bring him in for? That is that is like why would you do that for? A toxic fan base is an understatement. Come on, Kentucky fans. We gotta come on, we gotta show more class, man. We gotta show more class than what we've been showing. I take it personal when my fan base is being called beyond toxic. Toxic is not even a good word to describe the Kentucky fan base. Come on, man, we got more class than that. We got more class than that, Kentucky. Let's show the nation that we got more class than that we're not this toxic fan base that people just feel we are. We have to go prove that we're not that fan base. We just do, because until we do that, we're gonna get the same bad rap. Kentucky got horrible fan base. Kentucky's going to run coaches off. It doesn't matter who Kentucky brings in. If the fan base doesn't like him, the fan base will get him out of there. We're better than that, man. Let's show some class at Kentucky for sure. When Cal comes in from playing with Arkansas, don't boo him. I mean, he brought us a national championship. He still did some good things for us. At least we can do is just clap for him, and then go beat Arkansas. That's the best. That's the best way that you can rub it in a Coach Cal's face, or any coach, is when his team comes to town, you beat them. You beat them. That's how you say, "Told you, Coach. It's better here at Kentucky. Take it easy at Arkansas, and we wish you the best." Who stays and does he take with him? I mean, does he? I mean, well, a lot of people was like, well, why is he keeping Chin? Maybe the reason why Cal didn't get rid of any coaches, because maybe he knew he was leaving. Because everyone thought for sure he was going to get rid of Chin. Because Chin's supposed to be the defensive guy, but defense sucked this year. So people thought maybe he'll get rid of Chin. But he didn't get rid of anybody. And maybe, just maybe, he knew, I don't really care who's here. I ain't going to be here. So y'all can stay. I'm out the door. Come up with the money to get Hurley Barnhart. I mean, we got $33 million open now. Why not? Go spend the money. Go bring the guy in. A lot of people don't want Hurley, though. You see what I'm saying? A lot of people don't want him. So you bring him in, and you make a lot of people upset. How do you? Is this really a no-win situation for our AD, for Barnhart? This is a no-win situation. It just isn't, because the fan base is going to be divided on whoever you decide to bring in. So now the best part is Rondo can immediately retain the incoming class for the most part. Rondo can coach for sure. He has experience. He has experience coaching high school kids in the past. I don't know. People say, hey, don't mess with Rondo. He's a criminal, all that kind of stuff. I'm definitely going to leave that out of my videos. That's completely over my head. But Rondo's a winner, man. Rondo has won at every level. Did he win a championship at Kentucky? I don't know if he did it. But he's a winner, dude. Rondo's a winner. Now we're not gonna go out and bring him as a head coach for sure. But can you find a spot for him on the roster? I don't know. Does he even want to coach? I don't know neither. These young guys don't even know Rondo. He can't keep anyone. That's it. Like, only thing they care about is that money, man. Instagram, TikTok, show me the bag, and can you get me to the NBA? I don't really care. I know Calipari, and that's all I need to know. Cal can get me to the next level. He will get me in the NBA. He knows people. That's all I care about. I got 1 year in college, and then I'm gone. It does not matter. If I got to wear a red and white jersey, a blue and white jersey, a purple and white jersey, it does not matter. Where's Calipari going? I'm going to go with him, and he's going to get me to the NBA. Unfortunately, AAU doesn't coach at all. He doesn't coach at all. No Rondo. Didn't win. No, okay, I didn't think he won. I didn't think he won, but I mean, he's a two-time NBA champion, so he knows how to win ball games. That's for sure. Yeah, I didn't think he won at Kentucky. Thanks for that, Brady. Thank you. But anyway, hey, go Cats. Let's see what happens. Thank you guys so much for joining in. I had to go. I've been up all day long today, and I just couldn't wait to get here and talk to you guys. If you have YouTube, make sure you hit me up at the Loyal BBN Fan Show. Click that subscribe button, turn that bell on so you don't on Twitter at Big Mike 2014-23. Let's get it popping. This is going to be exciting. I'm like all of you guys. I'm going to be listening and watching all day long just to see what's out there. And can we get a hint at maybe who would be our next coach here with the Kentucky Wildcats? I'm Michael, the Loyal BBN Fan Show, and we are going to be out.